Well, I hope we're live now, Regina. So if everyone can hear us, can you just put yes in the chat? We have a chat uh, on the right, and we'll be looking to see if you answer yes, so we know we're live and we can get started today. So is anybody answering
Not
chat?
yet. Nothing yet.
We're going
It's
to have to
5:29.
Okay. So maybe we give
We'll
it
a minute.
Give it another
Yeah.
minute. Yeah. Okay, that sounds great. I like the background though. It's nice.
Yeah, looks good. Oh, okay. I see a couple of people popping
Okay.
out. Yeah.
Can everyone hear us? Please put yes in the chat if you can hear us and you're on. Looks like someone did yes here. Okay, great.
Okay.
All right. Let's give a couple more minutes, let a few more people jump on here, make sure.
Oh, yes, they said they can hear us. Okay, yes.
Okay, great.
I got several. Yeah. Oh, yeah, here come a bunch.
Okay, good.
All right.
Okay, so we're live, and we are very excited to be here to share the day in the life of a successful real estate agent. And we appreciate your interest and you being here for our webinar. And I'd love it if you would put in the chat what interests you about this particular webinar and your interest in real estate. And if you have any questions, we'd also love to have that put in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer them all for you. So shall we get started, Regina?
Sure, yes.
Okay, well, let me give you a little background about myself. And I want to introduce Regina McFarland here. I'm Margie Moldenhauer, and I'm the broker owner with RE/MAX, one of the broker owners. And I have been in the business 42 years. I've had this company, RE/MAX Associates, for 36 years. And we at RE/MAX, we have a team, and then we also have a group of solo agents too that work by themselves. Our team has around, I think, 16 agents on it, and then we have another 16 that are solo agents. So we have a lot of fun here. We're a big family, and we're happy to be here to share everything with you. And so today, Regina, she is going to discuss her journey in the real estate business because she's a newer agent, and most everybody that's probably on this webinar may be a newer agent or maybe thinking about getting into the real estate business. So we'd like to share with them what that's going to take to be a successful agent. And so, Regina, why don't you tell them a little bit about your journey, what you did before you got in the real estate business, and say your first year in the business, your second, your third, and where you are today.
Okay, yeah. So I've been an agent for 3.5 years. I was a stay-at-home mom for about 15 years, and my situation changed. I started working as a server, and I did that for about 12 years. And then when COVID hit, of course, everything changed in the restaurant industry. And I had considered real estate before. I had some friends that were in the business. They thought I would be good at it. And, when restaurants got shut down, I thought, okay, this is the time for me to do it. So I went ahead and got my license, and I started working at a small family brokerage. I kept my serving job for about 6 months when I first started. And I did 7 or 8 transactions with that brokerage my first year and a half. And I went through my contacts, my friends, my family, with those deals. And then after that, it was kind of like, I think
kind of dried up.
Yeah, like a lot of agents feel like, well, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to be doing? I wasn't receiving any leads. I wasn't answering phone calls for the office. I was just kind of on my own, just kind of out there, and didn't really know what to do. And so I decided that it was time for me to go somewhere else. And so I joined the team here at RE/MAX. I've been here for 2 years now, and I've been really happy. I feel like I've done really well. I've learned a lot, and I feel like I'm building my business, and very pleased.
And what have you learned, Regina? I mean, tell me tell me what you did when you first joined the company, and did you have a schedule? Did you have any training? Because you said that you lacked all of that
Right,
where
I
you were
did.
before. So
I did not have a lot of training, even though I did those transactions. It was just kind of learning as I went. I didn't have a lot of training on contracts, writing a contract, just the back and forth, the steps for a transaction. So when I switched over here to Remax, I went through the onboarding process and had a lot of training at the beginning on those things, and also handling leads. How to talk to people, the steps to go through. When someone calls or you call someone, how to secure them as a client and move forward.
And so, what did you learn scripts? What did you learn in your onboarding?
Yeah,
exactly?
we had scripts that we practice, go over those and role play. So you have a list of potential questions that people are going to ask you when you call, and a list of questions you need to ask them. This is the information that you need to find out from them, so you know how to move forward with them. Really helpful, rather than just calling someone and not really knowing what to say.
And, some people have never got on a phone and called a stranger. So is it hard to do that?
It is hard to do. It's a little scary.
Can I tell them that you looked at that phone for many hours before you picked it up?
Yeah, that was a fear. That's a fear a lot of people have in the beginning, and you just have to do it. You just have to start doing it. And the more you call, the easier it gets, especially when you're prepared. When you've practiced, when you've done your role play and you know what to do, you know what to say, that makes it a lot easier.
And so tell me your day. What do you do every day? How do you become successful? And I first should probably share with the group her success story. So when she tells you this, you'll understand how she got there. She started with us, I think it was around May, and we had 6 weeks of onboarding. And so she spent a couple of months just kind of getting trained for being a success. And I think that you did when you were with us, the first 6 months, 8 buyers and 3 listings. And I think you had made over 60,000 in the business. And so then the second year, she did real well. In 2023, she had 19 transactions closed, and her income was over $80,000. And this year, she is giving it all she's got, and she is already at 15 closed and pending, and she has close to, I think it's close to 80,000 already in March. So she's going to have a terrific year end. And just to let you know, they're about half buyers and half sellers that she's done. So she's not just showing buyers; she knows what to say and go out there and get the listings too. Yeah. So tell them your morning process, what you do.
So my routine, I have a schedule. I have a routine that I follow. Monday through Friday, I am up and ready to sit down and start work at 8:00. Whether I'm doing that at the office or at home, that is my plan every day. And I start out my day with prospecting. So I'm calling through potential clients, potential buyers or sellers that have come in as leads that I haven't spoken to yet. So these are new people I'm reaching out to. And my personal goal I have for myself is to call 50 people a day.
So you talk to 50 people a day?
No, not always.
So how many, when you call that many people, how many do you really talk to?
Usually about a 10% answer rate on the calls. So, it could be more, it could be less. You may have some days where you call 50 people and no one answers. So it just depends. But that is my number every day, that I call 50 people. So I do that in the morning. I have that time set aside just for that. And then when I finish up with that, I have time to, these people that I've talked to that maybe, want to buy or sell, then I can work on, setting up a search for them or sending them listings or doing comps for their home, preparing for a listing appointment that I may have set, or an appointment to meet with a buyer. In the afternoons, that's when I can go out on those appointments because I've already got my calling done for the day. So I think it's really important to have a routine, to have a schedule, and to hold yourself accountable to that. You have to, this is a real job, and you have to treat it as a real job. I think a lot of agents have trouble with that. They like the freedom and working for
There's no one telling
themselves.
you to be there, right?
Right. And you have to
Mhm.
make yourself do it. You have to, and, being on a team, your teammates can hold you accountable for that too, so
And
that's really important.
And so, it sounds like you have, some business in the pipeline. So just say a brand new agent just got their license. How do they stay positive and not have, days where they just don't feel like they can do it because nothing's happening? What would you recommend to them?
You just have to realize that it does take some time. A lot of agents think, as I did, that, oh, I got my license, I'm a realtor, people are going to call me, everyone's going to call me and wanting me to help them, and you have to work to secure clients. You have to reach out to people, and it does take some time to build up your client base, and you have to trust the process. You have to trust that the work you're putting out there is going to come back to you, and I have proof of that. It took, even after I moved over to Remax, it took several months for the transactions to start coming in,
And so bottom line, if you have this schedule like Regina does, she calls 50 people, and somebody might be different. They may call more, they may call less. But I think, Regina, you told me just recently that if you didn't have any activities for the afternoon, you just kept on calling.
Just keep calling people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've called 50 people in an hour, are you just going to take the rest of the day off? Or, you should keep working, like I said,
And so how do you find 50 people to call? I mean, who do you call exactly?
So we have leads that come in into our computer, our Follow Up Boss program. So leads come into us. So people that have looked at real estate on our website or have reached out in some way. We have a list of those people, and that's who I call through.
And what is Follow Up Boss? What is that program?
Yeah,
is that something that the company provides, or what?
Yes.
What is that?
Yeah,
exactly?
The team provides that for us, and it helps us manage all of our leads and our clients. So it helps me keep track of all of my people and my communication with them, when I've called them, when I need to call them, when I need to follow up with them. It's a great system.
And how did you learn to use that system?
The team training helped me with that, and it was a lot to learn at first. I'm not great with the computer, so that was a little bit of a challenge for me. But everybody here helped me with that, and it's a great tool now. It's a great resource.
Well, a lot of the people probably on this webinar do not know some of the statistics about being in real estate. The average agent, and I'm not talking about a successful agent, but I'm talking about the average agent in the United States, only sells about 4 or 5 homes a year, which is definitely not enough to make a living and not enough to keep you in the real estate business. And then there's also almost a 90% failure rate in this profession. And I think a lot of that is because your commission sales, and maybe you don't have, 5 to 6 months of income put back till you get started and build up your funnel of people. Or you're just not disciplined enough to actually get up every day and work the job like it's a real job. Like, no one's you're an independent contractor. No one's going to tell you to show up. But on the team, you're going to have tons of support, and you're going to be held accountable if you're on the team. We just lost internet, so let's see what happened here. So, bear with us. Okay, there we're back. Not sure what happened there, but we went away from y'all for a minute there. So anyways, wanted to just let you know that surprisingly, 7% of the agents make 90% of all the money in real estate. So that tells you how good you need to be, and how much training you're going to need to have, and you're going to have to really want to do this and believe in the system. So, Regina, do we have any questions yet in the chat?
I don't see any yet. Yeah, you guys throw some questions out for us.
Well, let me just ask you one, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, how long does it take a new agent to start making some money?
I would say about maybe 6 months. I mean, if you have some family or friends, a lot of agents will have some family or friends that reach out when they first get their license, and they may do a few deals. But to really, talk with new people and have some new leads and transactions going on, it takes a few months.
And so then after I work through, say, my mom and dad and my brothers and sisters, then where do I go from there?
Yeah, that's where the team leads come in.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And so let me ask you another question. Is being a real estate agent safe? I mean, some people worry that, that you have to work evenings and weekends, and we've heard some, horror stories about real estate agents. So is it safe to be in real estate?
I feel safe. I mean, you have to take precautions. We have realtor safety training courses that we do. We also have an app that we can use as realtors where we can check on people that we're going to be meeting with. We can check on their information, background information before we go to meet with them. And we can always, if there's something we feel funny about or we don't feel comfortable with, of course, you can have the clients come into the office first, meet you there. Being on a team, I can always reach out to one of my colleagues, if I want somebody to go with me on an appointment too. So here's some questions.
Okay.
Let's see. Sherry said, I'm taking my real estate test in a couple of weeks. I'm researching brokers. Thought it came at the perfect time. Okay, so she's enjoying our webinar.
Okay, great.
Let's see. How do I get my real estate license?
Okay. Well, the way you get your real estate license, there's a 60-hour course you have to take, and that can be taken online, or there's in-person classes, and there's lots of options in this area. So that should not be a problem. And so once you take the course, there's a big test afterwards, and it's not an easy test. And so there's a lot of studying to take that test. But once you pass it, hopefully the first time, and if you don't, you can take it again. Once you pass that test, then you will send that information to the Real Estate Commission, and they'll do a background check on you. So that means you'll have to be fingerprinted, and they will research your background and make sure that you're not a felon or have anything that, if you, got a speeding ticket or something like that, that doesn't count. But they just want to make sure you're a good person before you start showing the public. And so it's a couple of weeks after you, get your license back, after you actually pass the test, that you're going to be able to get your license back. And so it seems like a really slow process, because here you've been through this course, and then you've studied for the test, you're taking the test. It seems like forever, but it's really not that long. And so once your license comes back, then you have up to 6 months to be able to find a brokerage to work for. And once you do that, then you can start selling real estate. And as far as what it costs to get into this business, I would say total cost is going to be close to $2,000. It's about $800 to do the test, the fees, and everything involved in that. And then depending on when you join the board, their fees may vary on that. So to me, that's a very cheap way to get into a really good business. And this business, if you work it right, and if you really are disciplined and want accountability, and you do everything that you should be doing as a real estate agent, it's unbelievable what success that you can have. People have been able to, buy their dream home. They've been able to build up their wealth. They've been able to pay off debt, to take those dream trips they've always wanted to do. There's so many things that it can offer, and there's really no limit as long as you work it like it's a real profession. And so I think there's a few more, Regina, aren't there?
Several people have asked about getting their license, how long it takes. You covered that, and how much it costs. How much time does it take you to call each day? So I usually spend at least an hour, sometimes two, calling new leads. And then, of course, I'm following up with other clients during the day too. So, but you could easily, I think, do your prospecting easily in two hours a day, maybe 3 if you wanted to spend more time.
So let me tell you a little bit about what I think. And I think I told y'all I've been in the business a long time, 42 years. So, but I was a new agent at one time. And the reason I got into the business is I had 3 young children, and I wanted to have a profession I could work around my family while they were still young. And so it was a really good profession for that. But I think to be successful, to me, a perfect schedule would be you get to work, say, by 8 o'clock, and you spend 15, 20 minutes studying the multiple listing service, looking at what's happening in the market, new listings that are on the market, looking at things that have gone pending or sold, to kind of learn the market a little bit, so you'll be a little knowledgeable when you start getting on the phone. And then take another 15, 20 minutes and find someone in the office to role play. And we do on our team, we do have scheduled role plays in the office, but you can also practice it yourself. You can practice it in front of a mirror. And there's probably not any team member that wouldn't take some time to practice with you. We're all big family here. And so once you practice a little bit, that just kind of warms you up for getting on the phone. And then you have your list of people that you want to reach out to, and you start working on that. And you fill that morning with that. There's books about the miracle morning. There's books about, managing your time in the morning. All those books are very good to read just to help your motivation to do that. But you're going to have a lot of accountability. If you're a new agent and you're on our team, we're going to be here to support you and make sure that you are trained well. And so, in the afternoon, if you don't have any business, if you're brand new, I would recommend that you practice writing contracts, that you go preview properties. I mean, there's a lot of neighborhoods to learn. There's always new construction being built. Those are easy to get into. You don't have to, wait on a seller to approve the showing. So there's a lot of different things that you can do to learn the market. And our market is really growing. So there's unlimited things that you can learn about Northwest Arkansas now and selling real estate. Mm-hmm. So Regina, is there any other questions?
Yeah, Ren asked, do you work a lot of nights and weekends?
Well, I'm going to let, I can tell you I don't anymore, mm-hmm. because I just pretty much cut it off by the end of the day. But in weekends, I have a whole team of people that are happy to work weekends. So I'm gonna let Regina answer that, because she's definitely in the thick of it right now.
Yeah, you do need to be available in the evenings and on the weekends. Most people are working during the day, and so if they want to look at homes, that's going to be after work for them, or on a Saturday or Sunday. So that does happen. But you'll go through spurts where, you may be showing a lot of homes at those times, but then you'll have a spell where you're not. So it balances out. And you can manage your schedule too,
normally in the wintertime, it gets dark early. Mm-hmm. So really our days are cut a little bit short.
Yeah, we don't.
And so we try to ask the buyers if they could meet us at noon on their lunch hour, because we know, everybody's working too. Mm-hmm. And if they can't, then, that's where the weekend comes up, that we might step in and show them on Saturday or Sunday, whatever, is open for them to be able to do.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Jesse asked, is now a good time to get into real estate?
Well, if you want to get into real estate, now is the best time. There's really no bad time to get into real estate. There's a lot of realtors in the business, and there's going to continue to be a lot of realtors in the business. But as far as successful agents, there's really just a handful that you have to compete with. And so it's really all up to you and your mindset on what you want to be in this business. So yes, I definitely say jump in there and go to school and take your test and get in the business if that's what you want to do.
Okay. Let's see. Ruth asks, what do you like the most about being a real estate agent, and what do you like the least?
Well, let's start with you, Gina. You tell them what you like and what you don't like.
I like meeting new people. Getting out, meeting new people, going to their homes. I enjoy that. I like talking to people. I like the freedom I have with my schedule, and the financial freedom too. That's nice. Mm-hmm. What do I like the least? I enjoy my job. It can get really busy sometimes if you have a lot going on. That could be a little frustrating sometimes, but overall I enjoy it. I'm glad I made the change, and I like my job. What about you, Margie?
Well, I think, for me, I've sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of homes, and And I love the end result of the reward someone gets when they've bought their first house or they've bought their last house. It's just, buying a home is a wonderful experience for most people, and selling a home, same way. Sometimes it's not a great experience because sometimes the reason you're selling may be due to health or divorce or death or something that you have helped someone with a really big goal. And we really, we work with people that this is one of their biggest investments in their life, either selling or buying. And we want to make sure that we give them the best professional treatment that we can give them, and be kind to them and support them and be there when they need us. And so, I love that. It has been very rewarding to me. That's why I'm still doing it after all these years. And people ask me, am I ever going to retire? Well, I'm not sure I am ever going to retire, but I have enjoyed also meeting and having a lot of wonderful friends in this business after selling them a home or after selling their home for them. What I like the least about it, probably same with Regina. Sometimes it can get to be a 7-day-a-week job. And especially if you've got people that are under time crunch and they have to look for a house until they buy one, they're not leaving town until that happens. And so sometimes, there's no weekend off, you're working 7 days, but that's not a constant in this business. I mean, you're going to have that downtime. So I would say that the only thing that, might be my least would be if I have a couple weeks straight like that without a day off, but that would be kind of unusual for that to happen.
Atalia asks, can I do real estate part-time?
Okay. I think part-time is going to be hard. I think that, if you're part-time, you may not be able to show an evening when someone needs you. I mean, let's just say you decide you're going to work half a day till the kids get home. Well, what if somebody has to see something after 5? Then what are you going to do? I mean, we have a team here and they'd be glad to support you, when you're on vacation or, help you take over your clients, for you at that time. But, I always ask myself, well, would I want a part-time dentist or a part-time doctor, if I was going to hire someone? And my answer would be no. And so I wouldn't want a part-time realtor either, because it's a big job. You're handling people's money, when you're working with them. So how about you, Regina?
Yeah,
do you think you can work part-time?
I think it's hard to build your business, and spend and devote the time to the prospecting and all of that if you're not doing it full-time. How much can I make as a real estate agent? Henry asks.
That's a great question. I guess, how much do you want to make?
Yeah.
Regina, right now, she's got 80,000 under contract, and it's March. Are you going to quit working next month?
No.
So you can kind of add the numbers up. If she continues doing what she's doing, she's going to have a really good year end, I think. And the biggest sale time is March through June. So she is just getting rolling on that. So I think, it's limitless in what you can make. It's just a matter of how you apply yourself and how disciplined you are. I think discipline is really important. And in your mindset, you have to have a good mindset. You can't just think because you've gone a week and nothing's happened that's going to be the case every week. You have to just, keep your skills honed, and you have to just keep working at it. And, keeping education, learning more is very important too, I think, in this business.
Okay. Jesse asked, any biggest challenge in real estate now? I would say my biggest challenge is securing the new clients. So I'm at a point where there's always more to learn, like you said, but I feel comfortable with the actual work of an agent, the contracts and negotiations and all of that, and the calling, but securing buyers and sellers. When I first got my license, I would say my biggest challenge was the fear of calling. You have to get over that. What is your biggest challenge, Marcia?
it's probably inventory for a buyer. Right now our inventory is low. So we do spend a lot of time calling people that are in neighborhoods and just off market properties, just asking somebody if they're willing to sell. I mean, I think the biggest challenge now is just having enough inventory for the buyers. And then, of course, the interest rates, are a challenge in finding, loans that can fit people that, used to fit them, but now it doesn't because the interest rate is higher. So I think that's the biggest challenge. In the past, I think, there's been a challenge to always keep your mind positive when we had the financial crash several years back. I would go out to talk to a seller and I'd have to tell them that their house wasn't worth as much as they owed on it. And it took them 2 or 3 years before they could even get out of it, and they really needed to. So sometimes the challenge is just, having to be honest to people and tell them the truth about their property, what it's worth or what it needs, and just tell them what they need to do to get it sold. So, but other than that, there's no challenge that I don't think that I couldn't overcome.
Okay, Ruth asks, how do you handle angry clients, Margie? How do you handle angry clients?
Number one, I'm a pretty calm person, and I try to be the calming force in any situation. So the first thing I would do is find out what the what the situation is, and then I would do everything I could to try to solve it for them. But I definitely wouldn't argue with them, and I would support them in whatever feelings that they had, and just try to be the calming person in the situation. How about you, Regina?
Same, yes. Try to diffuse. Don't add to their anger. I saw one other new question. Let me go back up here. I answered that. Jackie asked, what are your thoughts on the change the National Association of Realtors, or NARS, made to the commission structure for agents?
Well, if you've been in the business like myself, 42 years, you've seen a whole lot of changes. And for me, I'm just like, well, we're going to figure it out. If we have to do things a little differently, we will do things differently. I think it's just, I think it's going to be interesting. It'll be a challenge, but there's always a challenge in this business. I mean, I'm not too worried about, all the news and everything. And I know that that this profession is very worthwhile, and that, people need us. They need buyer's agents. They need listing agents. They need people to represent them. So I know that it's going to all fall into place.
Any new questions? No new ones. Let's see. I think we've answered all of those.
Let's see if I have.
I'll say, as far as being on the team, and something that is very helpful to me being on the team, we have a listing coordinator, we have a transaction coordinator. So that takes a lot of the pressure off of me, and frees me up to do more prospecting and more, talking to people. Those are things that are provided for me on the team. If I get a listing agreement signed, I have somebody who is going to be taking care of scheduling the photos, scheduling that with the seller. They're going to be going out and putting the lockbox on the house, putting the sign up for me, those sorts of things. I don't have to spend my time doing that. They're going to handle that for me. And then once I have a property under contract, I have a transaction coordinator that is going to handle most of the communication with the client, with the title company, with the other agent. They're going to keep me on track with all of my dates and my deadlines, make sure I don't miss anything. I'm still going to be a part of that and be watching all of that, but she handles that for me. And that's something that a lot of people don't have. And that takes a lot of time. If you've got, 6 homes under contract, there's a lot of things going on, and having a transaction coordinator makes a huge difference in that. So I have more time to, be going out on appointments, meeting new people, working on getting new things under contract.
So that does limit a lot of your time if you're having to do all the scheduling, all the coordinating with inspections and appraisals and the title company on yourself. So one of the benefits to a new agent who doesn't have but a lot of business built up is to be able to have all that structure for them taken care of, and to have that support so they can continue working, they can continue building their business, and allows them time to go out and get more business.
That was so nice for me when I first joined the team, because I was doing all that myself before, and so that was, it's like, wow, I don't have to do that now.
All you have to do is pick up the phone, right? That's pretty easy.
Does anybody else have a question?
I've seen a lot of agents get in and out of this business, and a lot of times it's because they had no real support as a new agent and really didn't know what to do. It's like, okay, you got your license and just go do it. And, it's kind of scary in commission sales to do that. So I think training is really important for someone that wants to get into this profession on the front end. So if you don't have any more questions, we'd like to probably end this now. And if you are interested in getting into the business and want to talk to us more, we're going to have a career page we're going to put up online for you to put your contact information in, and we'll reach out to you for that. And we appreciate everyone that was on this webinar, and any additional questions later, don't hesitate to call us at RE/MAX Associates. Regina will be here and I will be here, and we'd be happy to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm happy to visit with anybody that has more questions or just wants to come in and sit down in person, and see what we do.
Okay, well, we hope everybody has a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.